Hey everybody, Justin here with Clean Energy Geeks. Thanks for joining me today. Today we are going to talk about how a solar installation works. What is the whole process? How do you get from beginning to end? What are the steps? What do you need to do if you're choosing to go solar? These sorts of things. So these days, in terms of you can take a deep breath because the homeowner doesn't have to do any of the work. The installation company does all the work for you. Basically, what happens is you will obviously get an estimate and a custom design done. Now, every solar company does free custom proposals and design. So if there's anyone ever out there that's trying to charge you for a design or a proposal, I would walk away from them very quickly. So basically, once you get a proposal together and you are really set to go, excited to go solar, basically what happens is you would sign a contract. It's an installation contract, which is the contract with the installation company for the installation. And then you would sign, if you're purchasing like most people do through a loan product, you would sign a loan document. If you pay cash, then it would just be the installation agreement, and then obviously your 50% deposit would be due up front. So once that happens, then what happens is that there's something called a site visit that happens. What this is basically is that a group of engineers, a team of engineers comes to your home and they check a bunch of different things. They check, is the roof good for solar? Because if you have a roof that's more than 20 years old, you can't put solar on it. So is the roof intact? Is it good? Does it have any holes? Anything like that? And then second of all, they check the electrical box. Is the electrical box up to code? Is it to par? All that kind of stuff. And then they check all the surroundings to make sure they know what placement they're going to put the inverter and all that kind of stuff. Once you get the A-OK, the sign off, then the exciting part starts to happen. The plans are drawn up by the solar company and they are sent over to um, the permitting office of your city. So this is the longest process. It really depends upon what state you're in. I'll just give you an example of the few big states. So East Coast New York, it's somewhere between 45 and 70 days. Texas, somewhere between 25 and 40 days. And then California, somewhere in the 30-ish to 40-day range, depending upon what city you're in. This is where the structural engineers in the city permitting department will look through the plans that the solar system has, the solar company has put together, and they will make sure that everything is good. And then they will approve a building permit. Once that happens, then it's the exciting part. You set up your installation, and it is always done on your schedule and your time. And it typically takes somewhere between 1 and 3 days. If you have an extremely large system, maybe longer, but typically most homes, 1 day, if at all 2 days. And then from there, what happens is that the utility company comes out and inspects the system. So what they look for is they look for code, make sure that it's all up to electrical code. And then once they give the A-OK, then you get to go outside and switch off that utility switch and turn on that solar power and start producing energy from the sun. Of course, with loan products, and I always like to say this, and even with when you're paying via cash, there's no release of the funds, either paying the second 50% or the loan company dispersing the funds until you're 100% satisfied with the system and it's up and running and you're happy as can be. So that's just a note to watch out for, and make sure that you read that solar installation contract very, very carefully and make sure you understand it all. It's usually a simple document, but it's always good to look over it a couple of times. And thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe to get more of our videos right away. And I'll see you next time.